Well, yeah, I was what you call a classic hedonist and basically a pleasure seeker, a thrill seeker. And I came to the end of myself my freshman year in college. I had just tried it all, done it all, and wasn't experiencing any sense of purpose or meaning or identity. And that made me very open to anything that would give me some clarity. And I was invited to a Bible study by the grace of God, where I met some Christians who just, embraced me, loved on me. They were a little more consistent than what I was used to seeing people be. And over a period of about 6 months, the gospel really became clear. And hearing the clear gospel message transformed me forever. So, I didn't grow up in church, so for me it was such a radical transformation. Everybody had to know about it. And I just took to printing up my testimony and passing it out all over campus.
What'd your family say?
My family thought I joined a cult. They did. And I mean, I was really extreme too. So, I was writing down Bible memory verses and putting them on a necklace keychain, and just to keep looking at them. And they were like, "Man, you're a little over the top, aren't you?" And so it took them a little while to get used to this being not just a phase. Oh man, when I first started rapping, what did I rap about? Me, and me. So it was just really self-consumed. Me and girls, me and money, me and cars, me and fights, me. And it was just, a bunch of nonsense.
But that's not you now, man. You listen to your albums, and it's Christ, Christ, Christ.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely. He defines me. My faith defines me. And so you'd be hard-pressed to hear me do any music that's not filtered through the lens of Jesus.
What does it mean to you to walk by faith and to live out your faith?
Yeah, well, to walk by faith, I love it, in Corinthians when Paul talks about we walk by faith, because it reminds me to have an eternal perspective. Walking by faith means that my surroundings and my circumstances don't dictate my life. They don't have any eternal bearings on anything. And so I'm looking forward to another life. I'm looking to Jesus. My eyes are fixed on him. And so regardless of my circumstances, I'm walking in light of the reality that my hope is in Jesus.
And what's a time in your life that you really, truly had to walk by faith and say, all right, God, I don't see how this is going to work out, but I'm trusting in you, man? Oh, man.
Doing music full time. That was a really big step for me. Me going to college was monumental, and then graduating was like the highest of heights. And so I graduated and got a job, and it was like my mother was like, she was like, I'm done. I did it. I made it. But for me to come to her and say, Mom, I think I'm going to pursue this music full time, that was scary for her and for a lot of people, because we'd seen that. We'd seen people say, I'm going to go try to play sports or try to be a musician, and it just never panned out. And I just really felt that the Lord had called me to serve him with my music, and I took that leap of faith.
In Go Hard, you talk about the lyrics is water down the lyrics, and you'll sell a lot of records.
Yeah.
Did you have people telling you that? Sure.
I've sat in plenty of meetings where they said, man, if you didn't have this Christian distinction, I think you'd be a lot more palatable and people could resonate with you. And but my thing is always, how can I change the message that changed me? That's impossible for me to do. And so you'll never see Lecrae defined as anything other than a believer in Jesus Christ.
And how do you deal with that temptation of, man, you can make so much money, so much more money if you water it down?
Well, I think now, I've established myself within Christian music or Christian musical genres to the point to where I really don't stand to gain anything by watering it down. It's my fans and followers have known me consistently to be somebody who loves and professes Jesus, and so it would really be more detrimental than anything for me to try to say, I don't want to talk about Jesus anymore.
How do you prepare your heart before you go on stage, like at Atlanta Fest or wherever, to do a concert, or even before you step into the booth to record an album? Mm-hmm. How do you prepare your heart? Because you're not just performing, mm-hmm. and you're not even just leading people in praise and worship. Mm-hmm. You're preaching.
Yeah, you know, I always want to be led by the Spirit. There's a difference between being filled with yourself and self-confidence and being filled with the Spirit. And you can tell, you know, there's times when you go out there and you hit the stage and it's just all willpower. It's just all self-confidence and repetition. And there's just a lack of real power there. But then there's times when you're praying that God will use you despite of yourself, and you sense Him carrying you through that, and you feel the impact and the weight. And so, you know, ritually, what I like to do is do a devotional before I hit the stage. You know, my crew and I, band and I, we'll get into scriptures and just spend some time reflecting on Jesus and praying that we be led by the Spirit.
You got a new CD coming out in
Yes.
September, Gravity, and I saw on Facebook you're doing a little pre-release. You can get a free. Talk about the new CD, Gravity.
Yeah, so Gravity is my 6th studio album. I'm really excited about it because I think it's necessary. You know, I think it's loosely based off the book of Ecclesiastes, and so it's about weight and the weightiness of life and the harsh realities that people go through. But those harsh realities, one, make us who we are, and two, encourage us to have our hope in Jesus and not in the things in this world. And so, you know, it's probably the biggest album I've done in terms of production, in terms of writing. It's just been a lot of work put into it, and I'm really grateful. And so there's a lot of cool surprises. I was on the road with 10th Avenue North for a good little bit of time, and you never know what happens, you know.
Those guys are crazy.
Yeah, man. So,
Mike is crazy.
I love Mike, man.
He's great.
Yeah, man. So you know, we got together in the studio, and we'll see if it makes it. You know, we'll see if it makes the album. I don't know.
Well, watching the video that you made, the little, I guess you would call it a trailer for the album.
Yeah.
The big plane hanging behind you. That's pretty epic.
Yeah, man. We wanted to go there. Our perspective is, you know, to be upright. And upright is kind of a play on words, but we want to be upright and standing with the Lord, but we want to be progressive as well, upward and forward in art and what we're doing. And so we don't want anybody to have any reason to say, you know, the Christians aren't producing quality art.
When somebody comes to a show of yours or sits down and listens to your CD, what do you want them to walk away with when they think of Lecrae?
When you think of Lecrae, I would hope that I'm marked by my passion for Jesus and my passion to change the way people see the world. I love being a music artist, and I'm honored to be one, but hopefully at the end of my life, people don't just say, oh, he's a good musician. You know, hopefully they say, man, that guy loves Jesus.
How has having kids changed your perspective of your relationship with God?
Oh, man. In so many ways. I think the major way is I have a deeper respect, a deeper love for God's patience and God's unconditional love. Just knowing that He's a better father than me, but also knowing how much I love my kids and how much I want to be there and support them is mind-blowing. I'm like, wow, what am I worried about? You're a better dad than me, and you know, I'm trying to go above and beyond for mine. So goodness gracious, you're the standard, you know. And so it really encourages me to see Him as a father.